voyage, you have reached the port of Umbar, but your ship was dashed upon the rocks. Though you completed the quest that brought you to Harad, it has left you stranded in enemy territory, far from help. Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Line Unbroken, a progression-style playthrough series of The Lord of the Rings, the card game. I am finally out of Nightmare, and so returning to standard difficulty for the first quest from the Sands of Harad deluxe expansion, Escape from Umbar. I did not mulligan either of these hands. King of the Mountain is basically what convinced me to keep this one. And over here it was the Master of the Forge, though obviously having hidden cash in my hand is not ideal. So, add Seize Them to the staging area. Each player adds one different location to the staging area and puts one copy of Umbar Sentry into play engaged with them. Shuffle the encounter deck. So I'm just going to move Seize Them out here. Seize Them forced. After an enemy attacks and destroys a character, remove X progress from the main quest. X is the attacking enemy's threat. At the end of the round, if the main quest has been in play the entire round and there are no progress tokens on it, the players lose the game. You have these Umbar Sentries. Surge Archery 1, forced when they attack, either remove one progress token from the main quest or Umbar Sentry gets +2 attack for this attack. And we choose, it is, yes, each player adds one different location to the staging area. So I'm definitely taking this narrow alleyway. Response: after the players travel here, choose a non-unique enemy engaged with a player and place it face up under this location. While an enemy is under this location, that enemy is considered to be out of play. And forced after it leaves play, put the enemy under it into play, engaged with the first player. And then, yep, I think I will go with the Port of Harad. X is the number of engaged enemies, so right now it's 2, but it could easily go down. Travel, assign X damage among characters in play. To travel here, shuffle the rest into the encounter deck and flip this over. Alarm bells ring from high watchtowers and the city guard shouts for you to lay down your arms and surrender. You must run or be captured. This stage cannot have more than 15 progress tokens on it. While at least one player is engaged with an enemy, the players cannot defeat this stage. So this is basically the interesting dilemma of this quest, is you can't over-quest these quest stages. You can only get up to 15 progress, and there are various effects, including Seize Them, but also the enemies themselves, which remove progress from the quest. So at some point you're going to have to take... So a lot of negatives you can avoid by removing progress from the quest, but at some point you will have to take them because you need to have the 15 progress. And also have no enemies. So, Control N, Test of Will is nice. And over here we've got Charge of the Rohirrim. Okay. So, as much as King Under the Mountain is the reason that I kept this hand, I'm not sure that I want to play it. In fact, I'm pretty sure I don't want to play it. Reason being, Gimli's ability requires spending a resource from him, and it would cost me... I would have to use his resource as well as Alfhelm's to play King Under the Mountain. So I will have to delay it, which means this deck is playing nothing. Meanwhile, over here, I can't afford the Master of the Forge yet. Secret Vigil would be wasted. I will play Darren's Runes. Okay, discard the hidden cash, and I will immediately play Arnor onto Legolas. Since Elfhelm is in play, this means Legolas now has +1 willpower. So, okay, there is currently 4 threat in the staging area. So, questing. I'm going to... So yeah, 4 from Eowyn. 6, 8, 9, and Legolas. Response: after Legolas commits to a quest, discard a card from your hand to ready another hero. If that hero is Gimli, he gets +1 willpower until the end of the phase, limit once per phase. So, honestly, I think I'm actually going to discard Gandalf. That's readying Gimli and giving him +1 willpower. So that's in fact 3. And I also forgot Legolas's bonus from Elfhelm. So 3, 5, 7, 11. Here's my initial willpower. And we reveal. Nowhere to hide. When revealed, the first player discards cards from the top of the encounter deck until an enemy is discarded and puts that enemy into play engaged with him. That would be kind of a problem to deal with right now, so I'm just going to cancel it. Later on, it probably wouldn't really be an issue, but now it would be. And in enemy territory, okay, alone in a hostile land, cut off from help, you struggle to find your bearings. Search. Each player cannot have more than 5 cards in their hand. If you have more than 5, immediately choose and discard cards from your hand until you have only 5. Response: when this stage is defeated, each player draws a card. We'll put it down here. This deck has exactly 5 cards in hand. This deck has 6 cards in hand. So I'm going to discard Hour of Wrath, because that's really... I don't expect to need that soon, and I can get it back at some point later with Harmer. And of course that surges into another narrow alleyway. Okay. So that's added 2 threat to the staging area. For a total of 6, I make 5 progress. Now, so I could possibly get both of these guys killed, but I'm not sure that I actually. But I could equally, make use of the narrow alleyway, which it would be less risky, because I would, in order to kill both of these guys, I would have to take one of them undefended. And they also have archery, so let's use a narrow alleyway. I mean, I have 2 of them. So, after the player's travel here, choose a non-unique enemy engaged with the player. Doesn't really matter which one I get rid of, I don't think. For sake of argument, let's make it that one. But since Gimli is Sentinel and Legolas is ranged, actually I suppose I could save Gimli's resource since Harmer's available. Yeah, okay. So we'll do this way. Archery 1 I will put on Eowyn. Gimli is a Sentinel. So when the Umbar sentry attacks, either remove 1 progress token from the main quest or he gets +2 attack. I will remove the progress. So 2 attack, 2 defense, that's fine. Now, of course I could, my initial plan was obviously to trigger Gimli's ability after he's declared as a defender, spend a resource to ready another hero. If that hero is Legolas, he gets +1 attack until the end of the phase, limit once per phase, which would have put Legolas at 4 attack, and therefore enough to kill one of these guys by himself. And that would allow me to trigger Arnor, which is a downside of not doing it, but on the other hand, this way I save the resource. I can get progress later, so I'll just kill this guy with Harmer and Argalad, and that is it for the round. Control N. Okay, and we have to remember, of course, in enemy territory, each player can't have more than 5 cards in their hand. If you have more than 5, immediately choose and discard. So, same principle. I'm going to discard Charge of the Rohirrim. And over here, I'm going to discard Ranger Provisions. So now, the Master of the Forge is very important. And I will immediately use his ability. Okay, the only attachment in there is Asphalth. Okay, and King Under the Mountain here, which I will immediately exhaust to look at the top 2 cards of my deck. Add one to hand and discard the other. Dawn Shield, no, it's only heroes. I'm also going to play Ranger Provisions onto the active location, so this deck can get some extra resources, and I'm going to play Light of Valinor onto Argalad. It's a shame there isn't an enemy in play for the Secret Vigil, not because I really need the threat reduction, but just because it would be nice to get another card out of this deck's hand. But okay, this is now 0 threat. So there's 2 threat in the staging area, and yeah, I don't have great choices for Legolas's ability, but I want to clear this side quest. Can I realistically clear this side quest? So I'm definitely questing for 6 here, 8. We've got to a total of 13 if I sent both of these to Reddy and Gimli. And I need 10 progress to clear the side quest. That would require me to reveal no more than 1 threat. I suppose there's also Argalad to factor in. If I reveal an enemy, I can reduce that threat by 2. So I could potentially reveal as much as 3 threat and still be okay. It's probably still better to go for it. I'm going to discard the Erebor Guard to Legolas's ability. I would quite like to have an Erebor Guard, but I already discarded 1 Gandalf and 1 Dwarven Shield, and I'd like both of those as well, so okay. Questing for 13. Reveal Southern Soldier and Umbar Street. Once the active location, each enemy gets -1 engagement cost for each progress token on the main quest. Okay, so that's added 6 additional threat. I'm only making 5 progress. I could trigger Argalad on the Southern Soldier. I would not damage him, but I would still reduce his threat and get more progress on here. Which I guess might be worth it actually, just because I'm not about to. I don't have to engage him, and I don't really want to engage him. So, well, actually, I suppose I could engage him if I travelled to the other narrow alleyway, to remove the Umbar sentry again. And then I can choose to deal with the soldier instead. That is the way I could choose to go. I guess that would keep more threat out of the staging area, ultimately, which is potentially an issue. Yeah, it would also, because I don't think I can deal with both enemies unless, again, potentially if I take an undefended attack. And no, even then I wouldn't have enough attack for them. Okay, so this is explored. The range provisions go off. This deck gets more resources. And this guy comes in. I will have to engage the soldier next round regardless, so... Because this is the thing, I could travel to the Umbar Street, which was what I was otherwise thinking. Actually, no, if I travel to the Umbar Street, I will have to engage the soldier as well, because his engagement cost will be reduced. So yeah, back to another narrow alleyway. And I will engage the soldier. But actually, I suppose just Hammer and Legolas will be enough. And I would like to start triggering Arnor. I could also... Well, no, I need Legolas to participate. So yes, I could have triggered Argalad and thus gotten 2 more progress on here. Okay. Oh, and after he engages, either remove 2 progress tokens from the main quest or he makes an immediate attack, or remove the progress. Only take the 1 attack. Gimli defends, spending a resource to ready Legolas. Attacking enemy gets +1 attack if this attack destroys a character. It does not, but that's now 4 attack against 2 defense. 2 damage for Gimli. And we attack 3/7 because his attack is boosted by Gimli. Killing the soldier, I exhaust Arnor to place a progress on the Umbar Street. Control N. Over here, I am now once again over 5 cards in hand. And it's very annoying because this is free. If it was like just at the end of the planning phase, have to discard, I could just play this and be okay, but as it is, I should check how many copies of Asphalloth I have, because I could get rid of that. Though it's not necessarily the ideal choice. I'd like to have this. It's Asphalloth or the Prospector, I think. Well, I mean, I could get rid of the Secret Vigil. Let's take a look at that. There are 3 copies of Asphalloth, so I'm probably okay to discard 1. I still have the Master of the Forge, so do this in the correct order. Here, Exhaust King under the mountain, and I mean, I have to keep the test of will. And yeah, I guess I still can't play this Dwarven Shield. Play the Storm Comes. Play this Warden of Healing. Then exhaust the Master of the Forge. I'll grab the Song of Battle, which, so an interesting thing about the Song of Battle, I initially put it in the deck when I didn't have many lore cards in the deck, so I was concerned Arg allowed him to have nothing to do with his resources. That's obviously not really a concern anymore, but it still serves the purpose of activating the Elf Helm attack boost, so actually maybe I should... Well, Argalad will get a mount. And theoretically, it might come up that I need to use his resources as tactics resources. But on the other hand, yeah, maybe I should just put it on Legolas, who already has a mount. So now he has +1 attack as well. So, 3 threat in the staging area. I'm a little bit concerned about the amount of progress on the main quest. But I would also really like to get rid of this effect. I suppose I'm not going to go over 5 this round. So maybe I should take the safe approach and go for the main quest. Questing 8. Yeah, it'd be 13 again. So no danger of me advancing the quest. I can just get more on it. Because it's just a question of if I have to engage more enemies, that's going to be a problem. So, yeah, main quest. We reveal, okay, each companion, each player must choose either raise your threat by 1 for each character you control or discard a character you control. So obviously I could cancel it, but it's not that bad. Not hide. Okay, so extra enemy here. I'm not sure this is the best use of my tests of will, but I think it'll work out. So 10 progress. And now I'm fairly confident about the amount of progress on the main quest. And yeah, I'm going to travel to the port of Harad because I can probably clear the Umbar street in the staging area. So, alright, yeah. Travel cost I had to assign 1 damage among characters in play. So let's put it on Hammer. Actually, no, let's just stack up damage like this. And I will heal Eowyn and Gimli. Defend with Gimli. readying Legolas, and removing a progress so he doesn't get +2 attack. +1 attack, +2 instead of it was engaged this round. So, okay, 4 attack. Gimli takes another 2 damage. And Legolas will kill this guy. So it's Arnor to put a progress there. Control N. Final test of will. Okay. King under the mountain. Sneak attack, sneak attack. Okay. That's good. Yeah. I'm going to do this. Okay. I'll grab the Rohan Warhorse and immediately play it onto Hammer. So now he's +1 attack. There's 3 threat in the staging area. Oh. I mean, I could... I think it's best to, given the damage Gimli's been taking, I think I want him to have this shield. So, oh yeah, I guess I'm not questing with Legolas and Gimli this round. Or if I do... In that case, maybe I still don't play the Dwarven Shield. Quest phase. Sneak attack, Gandalf. Draw 3 cards. Okay. Doing in enemy territory. So questing 4, 7, 9, 11, 15. I need to make 7 progress, which allows me a buffer of 5. That should be fine. Port of Harad is of course 0 threat and Umbar square. Unlocks the active location, gauge response. After an enemy is defeated, place 1 progress on the main quest, bypassing the active location. Travel, reveal the top card of the encounter deck to travel here. None of that is a problem. So I've added 2 threat to the staging area. I have definitely explored both of these things. When the stage is defeated, each player draws a card. Okay. Gandalf pops back to my hand. Yeah, I'm actually going to travel to the Umbar square, revealing the top card of the encounter deck, which is an Umbar sentry which surges into Southron Champion. Okay. I figured there are no enemies in play. It would be kind of nice if I could trigger Arnor again. Oh, I forgot when I committed Legolas to the quest. Obviously, I had to discard to ready Gimli. Okay, yes, so Southron Champion. When revealed, discard cards from the encounter deck until a Harad enemy is discarded. Add that enemy to the staging area and place a resource token on it. That enemy is the champion. While this stage is in play, the champion gets +2 threat, +2 attack, +2 defense, and gains immune to player card effects. The main quest stage cannot be defeated while the champion is in play. The champion cannot take damage unless there are at least 4 progress tokens here. This stage cannot be defeated while the champion is in play. Thankfully I got a relatively weak champion. But yeah, okay. So, yeah, it's printed thread, so wouldn't be helpful. Okay, I have to engage both of these sentries. Given the amount of damage on Gimli, he doesn't have +1 defense. I think I want Elfhelm to defend the champion. So we have archery 2. Eowyn and Legolas. So Gimli will defend against the one who's not the champion. And ready Legolas. And I will remove the progress. Okay. Elfhelm defends against the champion, no shadow effect. Still 4 attack against 2 defense, once again removing the progress. Now, is it worth triggering Harmer at this point to get back one of these events? It might be. Because I'm going to want them at some point. Of course, there are more copies. So either way, I'm definitely killing the guy I can kill and exploring the Umbar Street with Arnor and healing up Gimli and Elfhelm. But yeah, I could definitely I think maybe how is my resource situation? I have a lot of resources, so yeah, I think I'm going to grab Hour of Wrath just because it'll be good to have a copy in hand just in case of dire situations. Now control line, and I drew a new copy of Charge of the Rohirrim, so there we go. Well warned, okay. That is also a printed threat, not total threat. Okay, I'm going to discard Gandalf, keep the Mirkwood Long Knife. Put in Windfowler on Eowyn, so she gets a +1 attack. Maybe I should have put Songs of Travel in this deck. Could have smoothed out resources, gotten extra Elfhelm bonuses. With 3 Songs of Travel, get an extra point of willpower on Gimli, Elfhelm, and Eowyn. Oh yeah, she's also +1 willpower, just because that's what the Windfowler does. Um, so Ranger Provisions seems like a pretty good idea, and so does the Dwarven Shield. So putting the Dwarven Shield onto Gimli and Ranger Provisions on the active location. The Ranger Provisions mean it won't matter that I have left Gimli without a resource, because he'll get one from the Ranger Provisions. Of course, the timing is important, because his response is after he is declared as a defender, not after he defends. If it was after he defends, then that would allow me to complete the defense and trigger the response of the Dwarven Shield when he takes damage to get the resource. But it's when he's declared as a defender, which is before the damage happens, so he needs to have the resource in advance. And okay, sure, I'll grab the Secret Vigil. And yeah, I think I'm going to play the Prospector, triggering response to discard top 3 cards of the deck, and shuffle 1 card from the discard pile back in. I'm thinking probably the Feint. I could also consider actually just shuffling the Daeron's Runes back in and just have more draw, but since I do have Master of the Forge, it's not too bad. Actually, no. I mean, I can retrieve that Feint with Hammer, potentially. So, Daeron's Runes. Okay. This guy is also potentially a chump. So, 1 threat in the staging area. Questing for definitely 5/7. Short of things to discard. So Legolas. I'd kind of like to keep all of these. I guess. So that's 12. Now, where am I questing? This would be nice, but this is kind of urgent, so it's gotta be Southern Champion. Reveal. Okay, Surge. Each player exhausts a character they control until the end of the combat phase. Exhausted characters cannot ready. No way am I allowing that. So then Soldier. Okay. So that's added 4 threats to the staging area. So I'm making 7 progress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just what I needed. And Ranger Provisions give me those extra resources. Yeah, I'll travel to the port of Harad, which means dealing 1 point of damage among characters in play. Engage the Sentry here and Southern Soldier here. After he engages, I will remove 2 progress. And I will also play Well Warned. Play only if you control a unique character with the Noble trait and another unique character with the Scout trait. Noble, Scout. Also Noble and Scout. After a player engages an enemy, reduce their threat by X, where X is that enemy's printed threat. So I reduce my threat by 3. And okay, there is Archery 2. Damage is getting a bit much, but okay, so Legolas should be exhausted from questing. I really want the champion dead, which will require 6 attack. So that's Legolas, Argalad. Harmer can kill this guy on his own. This guy will stay and I can put a secret vigil on him. So, can do this. Gimli is 3 defense. So that was not what I meant to do. I meant to draw an arrow. I think this is what I have to do. So, okay. Defending, readying Legolas. Takes a point of damage. Exhaust Dwarven Shield to gain a resource. So this is the thing with Dwarven Shield. Debatably, you could look at it and think, oh well, it's not great value, 2 resources for just 1 defense. But if they're still taking damage, oh, I had to remove progress for the ability there. If you're still taking damage, then well, it's 2 resources when you play it, but over the course of the game, it goes down to effectively 1 resource, 0 resources, negative resources. If you take damage once while defending, then in the long run, Dwarven Shield costs you as many resources as a Dunedain Warning, which does the same thing. It's just more expensive to play it in the first place, which is a strike against it, but if you can get to the long term. Once again, removing progress for this guy. Till the end of the round, defending character count ready. Not really that bothered. So Legolas and Argalad attack for 5, 7. Kill the champion, which means complete this. And I'll exhaust Arnor to put progress on the port of Harad. And Harmer attacks and kills the Umbar sentry. Can heal. It's going to be Gimli and Elfhelm again. And Control N. Okay, I found one of these guys. Finally. So, Master of the Forge, Firefoot. Cool. Right, so definitely putting a secret vigil onto this guy. Yes, I will do my king under the mountain at this point. Given how my threats are looking, and also my resources, I think I may want to keep the well-warned. I don't know. A good secret vigil. Well, also, I may want to just be discarding one of these, although maybe not. There's no threat at all in the staging area. I could get away with questing it a bit less. Going to discard the well-warned. So, yeah, let's play the Longbeard Sentry. I need more defenders. Let's also play Firefoot, which gives Arnor an extra point of attack. Not crucial, but actually, maybe I should put it on Eowyn. Because that way, when I trigger her ability, the main reason Firefoot is even in the deck is just because it's another mount, so it makes it more consistent. Since Arnor already has a Rohan Warhorse, it's not that important to give him that extra point of attack. He's not going to be overspilling a lot of damage, but Eowyn actually could. Eowyn could do a lot with Firefoot. And okay, over here, maybe I should just play Gandalf. Could draw more cards. On the other hand, Mirkwood Longknife would be good. Westfold Force Breeder to keep the mount train rolling, hopefully. Getting an Armored Destrier would be really useful. There we go. Destrier. And shuffle my deck and immediately play that Destrier onto Gimli, giving him another point of defense and of course the all-important readying. So, empty staging area. There is only 3 progress on the main quest. Hang on. A couple of rounds back, I was at the Umbar square and I killed an enemy while it was the active location, so I should have gotten an extra progress. Because I had 2 Umbar sentries, one of which was the champion, and I killed the other one. Yeah, okay. So 4 progress on the main quest. It's potentially reasonable. So I could go for the Stormcoms. Well, of course, I also figured I'm probably not questing with Legolas and Gimli this round. So 1, 3, 8, 9, 11. I would need to make 8 progress. clear the storm comes. Yeah, I think I'm going for the storm comes. Okay. For the Southern Soldier and Southern Captain. While he's in the staging area, each other Harad enemy gets +1 threat. And while he is engaged with you, each other Harad enemy engaged with you gets +1 attack. Okay, so that's 5 threat. I'm going to trigger Argalad on the Southern Soldier. Oh no, Argalad is still only 2 attack. So I'll trigger him on the Southern Captain. Oh yeah, so no, 6 threat. Because the Captain is increasing the threat of the Soldier. But now I've reduced the threat of the Captain by 2 with Argalad. So I'm making 7 progress. Which is not quite enough. But, you know, it's fine. Now, so yeah, there's definitely stuff I could do here, but take 8 to kill this guy at this point. Because you know, I've got the 4th Aerlingus. I could just kill him in the staging area. But I would have to trigger Eowyn to do that. So, I have to engage this soldier. I'm not engaging the captain. So I guess I'll bring the soldier here. And you know, I could probably actually just take the extra attack. Yeah, okay, so Long-Beard Sentry, discard 2 cards from the top of your deck to give Long-Beard Sentry Sentinel and +1 defense until the end of the phase. I'll do that now. Song of Battle and Fate. Okay, sure. But now a 3 defense Sentinel. No shadow effect. There is no archery. So now in the combat phase, and Gimli is defending 4. This is I didn't think this through. So I should take this back. Because this was easy for me to count. I need, because I won't be boosting Legolas because he's not exhausted, so I can't ready him with Gimli, I need Argalad's help. Oh wait, no, that's still not enough, is it? Okay. Change of plans. Very simple change of plans. I just swap these over and this can go back to how it was. It means that I don't get full use out of the Destria. I will only benefit from the readying, not from the shadow discard, because of course on Destria it's after attached hero defense against an attack, exhaust armored Destria to ready attached hero, then discard a shadow card from another enemy, engage with the defending player. So you need 2 enemies engaged with the same player, which was why I wanted the Southern Soldier here, but it's fine. Oh wait. Oh, there still is, because I want to kill this one, not this one. Because I want to leave this one alive so I can put a secret vigil on it. Legolas is 4 attack. No way around it. I can't leave them both alive. I mean, I could put the secret vigil on this guy. So, right. Yes. Defending. Attacking enemy makes an additional attack against you after this one. Okay. There are no cards left in the encounter deck. That makes it simpler. Okay, I take it undefended. Heal, Armor, and Gimli. And it's just 3 damage to Armor. Gimli defends this. That's fine. No damage. Kill this Southern Soldier. Could do the 4th Aerlingus, but Hammer is only 4 attack. It would only really be worthwhile if I readied Eowyn, and there will probably be better moments for that. Okay, Control N. Okay, I think could have been useful sooner. Another secret vigil. Over here, okay. Key under the mountain. I will discard Light of Arnor and keep Unlikely Friendship. I will play both of these copies of Unlikely Friendship, meaning that I draw 2 cards and add 2 resources to the resource pools of heroes I control. I have plenty of leadership resources right now, so we're going to do both of those resources on Legolas. The extra sneak attack is very welcome. And, you know, Terrible to Behold, odd choice, but since I have the potential for recycling 4th Aerlingus with Hammer, I figured there's some potential value in that. So let's play both of these Mirkwood Long Knives. Put 1 on Legolas and 1 on Argalad. So Legolas is now 3 willpower, 5 attack, and Argalad is 3 willpower, 3 attack. Pretty good. Over here, since I... Okay, yeah, let's play a Minstrel. And I will grab the Daeron's Runes and play the Daeron's Runes. Wait, did I didn't shuffle. Okay, and I think I discard this. Ooh, hang on. No, I am going to discard the spare Warhorse. It would be nice to put it on Elfhelm, but I should be able to find another Destria. It should be fine. And everything else here is good. Since I have 2 Vigils in hand, I am going to put 1 up here. And otherwise I'm saving resources. So there is one threat in the staging area. I don't think I need Gandalf for this, so I'm going to save him. I think we're leaving off with Gimli and Legolas again. 2, 7, 10. Going to the storm comes. I might just leave it at that. Have as much combat power available as possible. Okay, Soldier Archer. Archery 2, after it engages you, remove 2 progress tokens from the main quest or discard an ally you control. And Nord Hide. Okay, I can't cancel this time. First player discards from the top of the encounter deck until an enemy is discarded and puts it into play engaged. Okay, and the Southern Soldier, after he engages you, either remove 2 progress from the main quest or an immediate attack. So I have a feint, don't I? Yeah. So let's see, I'm going to have to deal with 1, 2, 3 attacks. Potentially this would be 4th. Gimli can take 2. I have Gandalf as an option. Yeah, Gimli can take 2. Elfhelm could take 1, though it might be useful to have his attack available. Sentry could take 1. Have a feint. So yeah, I think I'll leave the progress on the quest and take the attack. Gonna do it with the sentry, discarding 2 cards. Hidden cache! There we go. Resources onto Argalat. Choose a non-unique enemy in the staging area, engage it and deal it. Shadow card. Okay. Goes a little bit against what I was planning to do, but sure. Wait, why is the horse breed you should have been questing? However, now, after Southern Archer engages you, either remove 2 progress tokens from the main quest or discard an ally you control. So it doesn't affect my willpower. But we're now back down to only 1 threat in the staging area, so I've definitely explored the Storm Comes. So, yeah, I was planning to have this deck engage the Archer. And I was thinking of possibly doing triggering Eowyn, then playing 4th Eolingus, so that she could attack into the staging area, kill this guy and overspill onto the Archer. Not sure if that would have actually added up. Heat to kill this guy, she would have been 12. Yeah, there would have been 4 damage left over, which could have overspilled with 5 foot to kill the archer, yeah, it would have worked perfectly. But now that's not an option. So, I still don't want to engage this guy. So, yes, I was planning for this. Let's see, I would like as much attack available as possible. Yeah, okay. So Elfhelm is going to defend against Soldier. Okay, he takes 1 damage. Oh, there's Archery 2, which I guess I'd just exalt the Warden of Healing and end up with the same damage that I already had. So yes, Elfhelm took 1 damage there. Gimli defends against the archer, triggers his ability to ready Elfhelm. Okay, he used 4 defense, so that's no damage. Ready him with the Destria and discard this shadow card. And defend this. So, 7 for this guy. Legolas is 5. 7. Sneak attack Gandalf. Draw 3 cards. And attack 4, 7. And kill off the archer. Oh, I killed the guy with the secret vigil. So both decks dropped their threat by 3. So there's a thing I could do here. I could play 4th Airlingers. Each Rohan hero can be declared as an attacker against enemies in the staging area this phase. And charge with the Rohirrim. Until the end of the phase, each Rohan character with a mount attachment gets +3 attack. That would mean Harmer would be 7 attack and able to attack into the staging area. He could reduce the Southern Captain to 1 hit point, and then subsequently I could just pop him with Argalat and trigger another secret vigil. On the other hand, I mean, he's not going anywhere. Neither are my events. I have plenty of resources, I suppose. So, yeah, I'm going to do that. And I could... Oh yeah, so it's not displayed here because the image packs haven't updated, but there is an errata on Harmer. His ability can only be used 3 times per game. So I've used it once so far to grab this Hour of Wrath. I could now grab one of these events back again. I'm yeah, okay. So this is gonna look really weird, but I'm gonna grab Fourth Aerlingus and discard Faint. Because here's the thing. I have enough defenders in general, unless I get absolutely swarmed with enemies. And also, I'm dropping my threats back down to the point where I won't have to engage enemies if I don't want to. At which point, I may as well just kill them in the staging area, rather than engaging them and then fainting them. It comes to pretty much the same thing. Also, it's more interesting. There's a reason why I used to, when building decks with Harmer, deliberately not include Feint in them, just because I thought it was too boring. Okay. Things are looking pretty good. Control M. King under the Mountain. Okay, 2 hidden caches together. It's slightly annoying, but obviously I discard one of them. I discarded it from the top of my deck, so I add 2 resources to Legolas. Over here, extra Hour of Wrath. Probably going to be irrelevant. No attachments in there. Okay, so after all that effort to explore, the storm comes. I have enough law resources anyway. I don't need to siphon off tactics ones, but never mind. Secret Vigil here. Snowmane is going on Elfhelm. So that's Elfhelm mount bonuses on everyone except Argalad, who can't have them because he's law. He can only get a bonus if I get in a solid battle, and I think I only had 2. I played one and discarded the other. Never mind. So I could play this Erebor Guard. So, yeah, I guess that's the thing. I was thinking, oh yeah, Westfold Horsebreaker, I could find another Armored Destria, which obviously I would play on Elfhelm. And that would make sense. It would get me another defense. Erebor Guard would also get me another defense. I suppose then the flip side is, well, Elfhelm would be a better defense, so... But the Erebor Guard is in my hand now. I might not find the Destria. I will probably find the Destria. There are 12 cards left in my deck. And 2 of them are Destrias. Okay. So, Westfold Horsebreaker. So it's top 10 cards in my deck for yes. For a moment there I thought I had actually whiffed on that. It would have been funny if my 2 Destrias were in fact the last 2 cards in my deck. But there we go. Okay. So, yeah, things are looking pretty good. There is one threat in the staging area. And it's about time that I went for advancing the quest. So, questing 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 16, 18, 19 with the boost from Legolas. I'm discarding hidden cash for that. So it's 19 willpower against one threat. Seems reasonable. Reveal a narrow alleyway. Umbar Sentry surges into Umbar Sentry, surges into enemy pursuit. Either remove all progress from the main quest or assign X damage among characters in play. X is the number of progress tokens on the main quest. I have a lot of damage already, so I guess I'm removing all progress. I have added 4 threat to the staging area. So, yeah, okay. I'm going to trigger Argalad on the Southern Captain. Oh yeah, actually it would have been more threat because the Southern Captain increases the threat of the sentries. But now he's dead, so he doesn't. And in fact, the threat is down by 1, and both decks reduce their threat by 2. So, yeah, I'm questing for 19 against 4, I make 15 progress. So I can advance the quest as soon as no one is engaged with an enemy. I quested successfully, so I ready Elfhelm with Snowmane. I'm seriously considering not travelling to this narrow alleyway because I shouldn't have to, and it's possible that I might get swarmed with enemies later. Well, I suppose with the number of defences I have available, I'll probably be okay, but just in case. Because the 2 threat is not really going to cause me a lot of problems. So I do have to engage both of these. I'll have them both here. Little shadow cards. Gimli defends and readies Legolas. Oh, archery 2. Again, I'll just exalt a Warden and say that then things go back. Right, so nothing. Exalts the Destria to ready and discard that. Oh, and yes, I'm allowing them to have their attack boosts. Yeah, I just want to check. No, Southern Captain does not have victory points. Okay, yes. Gimli will now defend this one. Elfhelm will defend this. No shadow and he readies. So yeah, it takes 4 to kill these. Harma is 4. Do I want to trigger his ability for the 3rd time? Could grab back a charge of the Rohirrim, which might be useful. and discard Hour of Wrath. So yeah, okay. Have these 3 events. Take 7 to kill this guy. Have 8, since Legolas has the extra boost from Gimli. So this guy is dead. I will trigger the Secret Vigil before moving on to anything else, because of course now I have enough progress and no players are engaged with enemies, so I advance the quest. The whole of Umbar is astir, and the Southrons chase you through the streets. If you cannot escape the city quickly, you are certain to be taken prisoner. When revealed, end the current phase. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck, starting with the first player each player. Oh, since this ends the phase, I will just do my healing before killing that guy. Yes. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Starting with the first player, each player discards cards from the top of the encounter deck until they discard an enemy and puts that enemy into play engaged with them. So, shuffle into encounter deck. Okay. And of course, there is no progress on the main quest, so both decks will have to discard allies. Actually, no, I guess I should discard the Minstrel. She is theoretically less useful than the Prospector. Stage cannot have more than 15 progress tokens on it. Forced at the beginning of the quest phase, if any player is not engaged with an enemy, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until an enemy is discarded and add it to the staging area. While at least one player is engaged with an enemy, the players can't defeat this stage. If the players defeat this stage, they win the game. And here, of course, it's important to note the phrasing on Seize Them. It's at the end of the round, if the main quest has been in play the entire round and there are no progress tokens on it, the players lose the game. This is why it has been in play the entire round, because otherwise you would lose instantly when you advance to stage 2, which obviously is not the intention. Control M. Well-warned and Daeron's Runes. Okay. King Under the Mountain. Well, I already have Windfowler, so I will discard it. And here, Master of the Forge will find me no attachments. Could probably figure out if I actually have any attachments left, but can't be bothered. Well, I certainly had at least one. Okay. So, yeah, my spirit resources are no longer of any real significance. Because what I mean is I don't have Test of Will, so I don't have to save my spirit resources at all. I could play the Arable Guard, or I could play Mirkwood Longknife. The extra attack power would be pretty handy. The Arable Guard might be nice, less actually for his ability to defend, as just his additional hit points to take archery damage. So I think I'm going to do that. And yes, so when you play Arable Guard from your hand, discard the top 2 cards of your deck to reduce its cost by 2. Okay. Oh, yeah, I just realised I've got the Storm cards in the victory display. So the first ally played by each player each round does not require a resource match. So I could actually have played like I would leadership resources, and then I could still play the long knife. I think that's a pretty good idea. So now Legolas is 4 willpower and 6 attack. Pretty good. Over here it's all events, so obviously I'm not playing any of them. There is 2 threat in the staging area. So I'm questing for discarding Terrible to Behold. 3, 7, 9, 12, 17, 18. And we reveal Umbar Sentry Surges, Umbar Street, Umbar Square. Okay, so that's 6 threat added. 10 progress. I could Argalad the Sentry, but I think it may be more useful to have Argalad's attack available for combat. So, let's see. Not going to the square this time around, I can just arrow it. I could do the street. I have to engage the sentry regardless. I'm tempted to go to the narrow alleyway, not because I'm really overwhelmed by these enemies, but just the archery. It would be easier if I didn't have to take all of this archery at once. Could spread it out. On the other hand, I can quite possibly kill everything. So I mean, I should be able to kill everything. Oh, Elfhelm readies. So, yeah, sure. Let's go to the Umbar Street, engage the sentry here. And I guess I'll just play what I want. Because if I'm figuring I can kill... Actually, can I kill everything? Yes, I can kill everything, for sure. So if I'm going to kill everything, then most likely I will just win the quest next round. So while it's not worth a lot lowering my threat by 1, it's all I can get. So there's archery 5, and I mean, maybe this is the point at which I just kind of go for score and dump 5 points of archery on my allies, because I don't think they're actually going to be defending. Well, I suppose I could defend with all of them. But no, it's fine. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Five. So now, defending, readying Legolas, attacking that gets +1 attack. Gimli is only 4 defense, so he takes 1 damage. Get a resource from the Dwarven Shield. And ready and discard shadow card from here. Elfhelm defends this one. And I guess I remove the progress. Anti-readies. Gimli defends this one. And that's fine. Healing. 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess. So, Legolas got the extra +1 attack from Gimli's ability. So he's now 7 attack. Yeah. So, I'm going to pay 4 for our Wrath. Choose a hero until the end of the phase. The chosen hero does not exhaust to attack or defend. Legolas does not exhaust to attack. Just in case I keep revealing things that put new enemies into play engaged with me, I guess I'll do that. But it shouldn't matter. I could have just put it here. But also I should have plenty of willpower, so don't see it being an issue. Gather information. Bit late for that. Doesn't really matter where I put the resources. I'll put them all Gimli. Master of the Forge finds me. Asphalloth. Oh yeah. It's also a bit late, but Argalad gets Asphalloth. If I could get him that Song of Battle. Actually, no. I just read. Since we're basically at the end of the game, I should save the lore resources for an extra use of Warden, but I am going to play this guy, discarding 3 cards. And I was going to say, and shuffle in the Song of Battle, but again, I'm going to win, so actually I should shuffle back in Hidden Cache, and then trigger the Longbeard Sentry to discard 2 cards from the top of my deck. Oh look, a Hidden Cache, and 2 resources to Argalad. And over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Gandalf. Drop my threat by 5. There's 4 threat in the staging area. Let me just check on this. There's still 1 hidden cache in my deck, so I'm going to trigger the Longbeard Sentry again because it's a new phase. Okay. Questing 4, 8, 10, 11, 13, 16, 21, 23. And reveal Umbar Street. And Umbar Sentry, which surges into Umbar Square. So I can reduce the Umbar Sentry's threat to 0, meaning I've added 5 threat, and I'm making 14 progress. So I'm going to use my 2 Wardens and ready both of them, and then use them again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, okay. Now 14 progress, so 3 here, and can't go above 15 on here. But at the beginning of the quest phase, if any player is not engaged with an enemy, discard a card from the top of the right. So in fact, I should have discarded this, and then discarded the sentry and put it into play, and then revealed the Umbar square, and then revealed enfeebled and exhausted these 2, and still won the quest in exactly the same way. Okay. Because I have the 15 progress and no players are engaged with enemies. There we go. It took a while. I didn't get exactly the right draws early on. I didn't manage to hit my hidden caches as early as I would have liked, which obviously would have helped a lot getting all this stuff in play, but it worked out. Eowyn never had to do her thing, though obviously I was well prepared for it. I do think Harma is still kind of usable, even with the 3 times per game limit, because you can do interesting things. And well, this is the thing, when the Harma errata happened, I thought, this ruins sort of toolboxy Harma builds, but it doesn't necessarily have to, because potentially, especially if you have events that you don't expect to want to play more than once, like Hour of Wrath. I really didn't expect to have to play that more than once, possibly not even once, but it was just nice to have it. So as soon as a copy went to my discard pile, which was potentially quite easy to achieve with Erednimra's Prospectors and Longbeard Sentries, I could just grab that 1 copy with Harma and then have it. And so it's an interesting point, I guess, combining Harma with Dwarven mining stuff. So rather than retrieving events you've already played, he's retrieving ones that you discarded from the top of your deck, and effectively that means that you're drawing them faster than you otherwise would, at the cost of discarding some other cards. Anyway, yes, that's Escape from Umbar. It's a pretty good quest, challenging, not too challenging, hits all areas. If you enjoyed this, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.